How's Charlie been?
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's 5 o'clock. Time to start. So this is for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Lesson.
I know Harold will be coming back, but Charlie, intermediate or a beginner?
I'm probably more intermediate all the time.
You get in trouble. uh, uh,
Yeah, I learned about being quiet and stuff there because
okay, well, that's okay. I'm gonna run through a few things. Feel free to jump in. Okay, I'm gonna treat this more. Hello, Rebecca. If you can tip your camera down a little so we not good, huh? And then in the lower, if you click on that so that you can talk. Well, you might have some questions of some things that I show you. And that way, if you
Okay.
And we're going to try to keep this. Oh, Dick is back at high school. All right. And Mary, I'm going to sort of, but I want to focus today on finding information on our website, and because we're hearing that looking at it, and you may be looking at this or you may not, but I just want to point out a few things. So I'm going to switch here to so that you see my, hopefully. And let me know if, are you seeing the Charlotte County Computer Group website?
Yes.
Okay, good. Looking, and there's a lot of information on here, but there are some things that I hope you go just to repeat our website info. And what I do, rather than having to type it in all the time, you'll note, and if you click that so that it's blue, you'll without it, it'd be white. And in there, up whatever you want. I call it the CCCGC, it as that.
Right.
Now, if you have a lot of things in your bookmark, over here on the left, on the right, and you'll see I have a lot of things in my bookmarks. I put up here on the bookmark bar, because then I go back, I'm going to close this. When I go back and open my Edge or Google or whatever one you use, because priority, it's right there. I don't have to go typing in the name. Then I'll,
Right.
okay. Hopefully to our meeting right here where it says the monthly meeting is the Zoom. And this is how I got. A lot of people will start clicking all kinds of things after there. But by clicking on that, you have to wait, let your computer work, or whoever is leading sees your name popping up as a participant. We let you in, and then you become like you are right now as part of the group. Items and links to other pages. So right now I'm in the home page, and it shows some of the more important things. The presentations, go look at them again. But notice up here at the top are the more current. We have February favorites. I'm not going to go there right now because that's what George clock. Okay. And I don't want to steal his thunder. Okay. And I just really encourage you to look at these options, links that we recommend. Backing up is the one piece that a lot of people ignore, or they don't do it very often, or start coming into the office saying, I can't get in, I can't get in, or something happened to my computer. We do recommend that you use either Macrium or EaseUs or any other backup program, just so it's back help you when you. And then again, we have some more presentations of the past, and you can get to immediately without having to type in a phrase. Any questions on those?
No.
Nope. Okay. EGC gives it's the statement, our website, and our club, what we are about. The monthly favorites, he's always looking for suggestions and recommendations. If there's a particular and is helpful to you, and you think, oh, that might be nice to share with the club, pretty much most of the members don't want to be the George.
What
Website I want you to check out, and you may want to use it. Okay.
Right.
Before I go to new class sign up, the Zoom meetings. This is one of the newer ones. Links that we have. All of the Zoom meetings that we have had are being taped. Okay. Hopefully, George, you have the record on.
Yes, we do.
They are recorded. They are saved out by clicking on here. It will take you to our June 5th meeting, our December 1, October 6th. So if you attended any of those or you want to see what happened, you click on it and it will run through and you'll be able to get the whole 3.5. There might have been some, get all the information. There too, you can go back and check on it and see if you've ever used YouTube. But down in the lower right-hand corner, you see the session is. Okay. And you don't have to choose one. And move the bar back and forth to see. So if first hour, you watch the number and you can move the bar to the second portion. So you can see all or pieces of it.
It should be on sometime tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right, so I'm going back. I'm gonna jump to the Bites, which is our newsletter. Here, I put a lot of work into a lot of information for you.
Good job.
You can, thank you. You can view it here or by clicking on view, or here, it will make it bigger. And on the, because of all the, let's see, where's the because of the controls and stuff on my thing, on my screen, right underneath it, when you're not, I make this larger to read it, or
You can see the controls.
or you can roll button, hold that down, and if on your mouse you have a roller button, by holding the control button, it makes it big. And then you can go, has our Zoom meeting info. And how many pages. always put in, there was always a report of the last meeting. So in the March issue will be a report of today. And an events calendar. New members, if we have any, there will be a list in case you happen to run into somebody and the name rings a bell. A list of our board of directors with pictures so that you can on page 8, the very final page, these are all, if you want to just try to put links under all of them as you to a finger, which will, so you don't have to remember how to spell it. It will take you to their site. At the top part is us, the more important one. He has a site because you see, we pay dues to the ECUG, and because you are members of us, so do check out this site as well. They have a number of classes, online Zoom classes that they give every month, just like ours, some better than others, but very informative and always find something to that is useful. Any questions on the that part as well? And you'll notice as I keep scrolling, the next page shows up. Here is our board. And last month, sadly, we didn't have any new members. We had a number of renewals of membership, but no new member.
How many members do we have?
Is Harold here yet?
Approximately 500.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. With the calendar info, you'll see there's an events calendar link, and I have that showing up on each page. But I also have started putting on a different format for you to also see what's available. This column on the left is what's available for February for us with our people teaching. And on the right is some of the things for the APCUG that's coming up. Especially APCUG, you have to go, you do have to click on here and you must register to be able to get in there. I thought I had this on Do Not Disturb. Nope, there we go. I know most of you attend one or more of ours. Right now we have, I believe all 3 of the teachers are here. Yep, Dick is on, Mary's on, I'm on, and we all have things that we offer throughout the month on different days. I just want to point out when it was in the office, it always had to be after the office closed from 2 to 4. I have begun, because they are on Zoom now, to do programs in the morning. Mary does them on Saturdays, beginning at noon. And Dick, at least right now, has kept 2 to 4. So we're trying to give a variety of options. and always open to recommendations from you members on especially different topics that you might be interested in. If we can't do it, we will try to find somebody to offer it for you. Okay? By clicking on the events calendar, rather than seeing it in a lineup, it will take you to the actual calendar for the month. Up here in the corner where you see this little arrow and box, if you click on that, it will make it a little bigger for you to read. Again, if you hold the control button down and use the roller ball on the mouse, you can make it even bigger for you to read it, to see line by line, day by day, or see the whole calendar all at once. We really do encourage you to take a look at these and join us for whatever might be of interest to you. We have, for some of us, this is signing up for the bites. It has my name here. If you know of a member who says they aren't getting the bites by email, send them here to the website. Recommend they go see the website and hit the sign up and fill in the information to subscribe. Okay. And that way also, not only to subscribe, but then tell them to come back and actually read it, which would be a good thing. We have some supplements from years gone by, different articles that were a little too big to put in the newsletter. Hopefully down the road, we might be adding to that list. But right now it's just some different types of things. If you are interested in any of the classes that we offer, CCCGC, the class sign-up list is right here. Any class taught by me, you need to sign up here. And also, I've been starting to tell some members, because of our transition and you're not able to get a hold of us for help, to use this form. And so you would put your first name, last name, your email, your phone number. Instead of class date, if you particularly want me, you would put in there, I need help from Rose. And then in number 6, try to explain a little bit of what the issue is so that I'm not flying blind. You also could request help from Dick or Mary or George. Once this is filled in and you hit submit, then it goes through the system, and I believe it's still Harold that forwards the information on to us, and then we will contact you. So very important that we have your email and your phone number to get a hold of you. Okay. Any questions or things of interest on here that you have seen, or questions you might have about the website at all? Anybody? No? Okay.
Yeah, is there a way to check out, make sure your information is correct on your website?
What was that, Charlie?
Is there a way to check and make sure that your own information is correct on your database?
That would be good too.
Be nice to have the link on there.
Oh, for
To the
checking
class.
your own information? That's a good suggestion. We'll have to put that in and in our list of things to do and see what's possible. Is there a part that you are concerned about particularly, Charlie?
Not really, because I think, seems like I'm getting some of the information once in a while on one email address I've got, or sometimes on another one. And it seems like after a day or two, if I don't get to it right away or wait till I read it the next day, I don't have it anymore because somehow it disappears.
Okay. It
Yeah,
could be,
sometimes they just get lost.
yeah.
Sometimes I find in the lost file, so at least I
Okay.
managed in a way.
Was it in your, here, let me go to my emails. Was it in here and had you looked at it in the inbox?
It wasn't in the inbox again one day, but I went
And
away
it-
the next day or the next other day that we
Okay,
had a meeting, it's gone. And once I realized I find it in the the lost box.
okay. And had you opened it once or not?
Yeah, I usually open it. I'll probably open it if I got time, or I'll save it or as not
Uh-huh.
read. It'll be still there, but that once in a while I had it disappear on me too.
Okay, you might want to check your settings to see if you have checked. Some of the email programs have where you can check it that after I open it and I've read it, you can move it. I have taken that part off of mine so that it stays where I have it. So you may want to check your settings for your
That's probably
email.
why I probably save it. Per se, I have not read it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one of those little things kind of irritates you once in a while.
I notice too, sometimes when they update themselves, all of a sudden I lose some things as well, you know? Yeah. All the updates, I want to tell them, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions about the internet particularly, or our website? Or I'll open it up to any question if you'd like.
Rose, can I make a suggestion?
Sure,
On
Mary.
the main page or on
Of
the
the
banner for
website?
the site,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, now it says, uh, in your previous view, it said bytes and then it said sign up on the next line. On this, it shows it byte sign, and that's just because of your screen size. Is there any way
Right.
to maybe make that two lines and make sure that that does not split up so that you can clearly see that the byte sign up?
We will forward that recommendation to our webmaster.
I can make a comment about that.
Sure.
That's an automatic. Uh, that's an automatic menu bar that's created by WordPress. And
Okay.
it varies in size depending upon what size the person's screen is. So they're really, I'm not sure we can force byte sign up to be all together. Might be able to do that by putting some hidden characters in here, but there's no way to control what goes on which line. It just happens left to right on how the pages are organized.
Ah. Okay. That's a good idea. I know some of us have been in discussion of putting a suggestion box link or something somewhere so that any of the members who have some ideas like that, or something that would help you view or find things. We're in discussion with making some additions or changes or updates, or so please do keep sharing information with us.
That's a good idea to put a suggestion box kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even on page 1, just to have a link to a suggestion box, whether it's in the upper bar or someplace in the body.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to, there are a number of things that we want to create and do, and so yeah, but always looking for feedback from the members. So hello, Linda, welcome. Feel free during this session, Linda, feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to
Yes,
join
I
in.
did. Hello, everybody.
Good. Okay. Rebecca, are you raising your hand, or?
No, I was waving at her.
Oh, you're waving. Okay. All right. Okay. Because this is, I'm trying to keep this more as a basic to try to get some other members coming in as well. Slowly we'll, do something here. But I also want to, I'm going to get out of here to my desktop. And I want to also recommend, even if you aren't a newbie or a beginner, whether you're intermediate or advanced, down here on the start box, you really want to every once in a while go to the settings and check on some of the setups, particularly after any updates happen, because things move around, things get changed, added that you may not know got added. One of the major updates, I think about a year ago, added another whole box in here.
I
So
noticed the top of yours is different from mine.
what is that?
You have the OneDrive Windows Update and rewards. I
Oh,
don't think that's on mine.
oh, well, look at
Let me
there.
go look.
So see, there's always some surprise coming in here. And so you really want to go in here and double check. And especially if you start having trouble on something, don't be afraid to open these things, because behind it, again, whenever there's a list or a box of dots or 3 dots or dashes or arrows, that means there's more stuff. And it can get a little overwhelming, but I really do encourage you going in there and looking at it and checking it out. And my theory, my modus operandi, so to speak, is, I'm sorry, this is a piece of equipment. I'm the one with the brain, hopefully, and I'm going to make this piece of equipment work for me, not me for it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good attitude.
So yeah. So yeah, do check out some of these things, and try not to be afraid of them. There are some things that could make it a little nerve-wracking. The very last one down here will always, if you don't have it set up for automatic updates, which pretty much Windows 10 set up that way for you. But every once in a while I go in here as well to check for updates. And then when it does update, if your computer starts closing down or resetting, and it says, do not shut down. Please don't shut down. Let it do its thing, because otherwise you may lock it up and then you will have more trouble. And then again, we get a knock on our doors saying, I can't, my computer is not acting right. Okay. Depends on how fast your computer goes as well. Some will whip through the updates, some will take a little longer, whether it's your computer or your internet. But just have patience. If it's telling you it's at a percentage of updating, please let it in, and then you can work with it. Okay, so I wanted to go through today, highlighting some of the classes, highlighting the website, and so open to any discussion, any questions, any recommendations. Or if you just want to have fun talking internet here.
Good job, Rose.
Thank you, Mary. It never hurts to repeat that. We need to check on these things, you know?
Okay, good job, Rose.
Okay. Also on the, as you're looking at, you see I'm moving stuff around, patterns to see who's here. On Zoom, Zoom is another fun thing that see the hide the thumbnails or small speaker, show thumbnail videos. There's all these squares. Every time there's squares and stuff, we get all kinds of stuff. These lines, people.
Your controls are different from ours, though.
Are
So
they?
we can't.
Okay. All right.
You got
I have it's some new links that anyway, because every time I update something, all of them to so that it loads a little faster. Okay, I'm going to stop so that we can see everybody here a little better. Okay. Before I hand it over, I have about 20 minutes yet. So any little song and dance, because soon you'll get more information.
Rose, I just noticed on the calendar that you have a regular topic that you cover frequently, or is that just the topic for that day?
I do individual topics. Google Photos I get quite frequently. So I try to put that on once a month, just Google Photos. And now I do it as a Google Photo question and answer. So it isn't really me. I want to know where your issues are first, and then show you some fun things that I've seen on it. An Apple program, Apple Q&A. I just recently put in the beginner one because I've had a number of our new members. One usually, or in the a one-on-one for which they're really rather than a group thing. So wherever they're at. But I start out with a particular theme, so. And I have a particular issue because those are the ones that I use the most and I'm most familiar with.
Yeah, and each time we do one of these, we learn too.
Mm-hmm.
We learn from each other, so it's a win-win.
Right, right. And just like with, you know, with the website or even once we're actually up and running again, as a office, always looking for recommendations from club members on what you need, because that's what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So please feel free to ask us, tell us, volunteer as if you'd like.
Okay. In the general meeting, is George going to go over the new
Everything.
office and when
Any-
it will actually be open? And
Anything not,
okay, I
Everything
will
as
talk
we
about it
know.
now then.
anything not class. Yeah,
Okay, I'll wait until 7 then.
yes. So this group is, will always be little, so that's okay.
Mhm.
You can get one-on-one then. Charlie, any further issues? Whoops.
That a lot of them, I can't always think of them, but sometimes I'm curious about if we want to share, you know, a picture or something like that with everybody. How do you leave this page here, or how do you put it up where they can see it too?
On Zoom?
Yeah.
Or on Zoom, whoever started the Zoom, so it would be the organizer person, is the one that has to give you permission to share your screen. So if you didn't instigate the Zoom session, then like for tonight, George, this is the president's program, or the president's
Presentation.
what?
Presentation.
No, not the presentation. This is
He
our
was the
account.
host.
Our account is under the president. So that's how we got in. And so George, as the president, had to give me permission to be able to share my screen so that you could see that. Once I have the sharing screen, then I could show you any pictures or any program that I have on my computer.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. How do you just leave this screen here we're on now to do that?
If you start the meeting, you have permission to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you
So
can,
Charlie, are you asking George to give you permission so that you can show something on your screen?
Yeah, more or less, it might be a scenery or something like that that might be of interest. That like now, if I could show it to you, which I don't have one right now, but
Mm-hmm. if you have something you want to show, then I would recommend you let George know ahead of time. And then he can give you permission and switch it over to you during the meeting.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or if you're working with your family or friends and you start, you get your own Zoom account, you can share anything you want that way.
If I time, I might work up to that if I'm lucky enough with it. It's not easy getting people to really try this out.
That's right.
And I'm not sure how we can improve on that because I say to me they're afraid or something like that. Or they don't understand the little knickknacks that we're doing here. And I'm still trying to figure that out because right now I feel like I'm stuck on this screen here and all I can do is communicate at this point without changing what we're really looking at. I'm not sure I'm explaining this very good, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Zoom, it's, or, well, if it's something that's not on your computer, Charlie, you could simply hold it up to your camera.
yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and then we can all see it. Yeah.
But I did that once there too. Let's see if I got it here.
Okay. Hello, Shirley.
Yeah.
Feel free to unmute and speak to us. Okay, Charlie, yeah?
I ran across this little guy here one day.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, a little,
A little,
watch your screen so it gets in the camera.
There.
see that little guy. I haven't seen one for years. And here I ran across this guy. It's a computer bug.
A computer bug.
How many remembers those?
Oh, yes. Mhm.
You mean the things that we still see all the time?
But,
A different kind of bug, Mary.
I know.
Okay. Well, yeah, any little tidbits are helpful. And again, as we're getting ready to hand this over in 10 minutes, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, with all of the updates, George, is it every second Tuesday there's an update, usually a small one?
Microsoft, yes.
A small one. So, and then of course, quarterly or twice a year or whenever they feel like it, there's a big Windows 10 update. So, and then in between, whatever programs you have on your computer, just always remember, update yes, upgrade no. Update free, upgrade money. So it's whatever choice you make with all of that. Obviously, if you pay for a program, well, not obviously, but most of the time, if you pay for a program, you're going to get a few more perks with the program. At this stage of the game, on the types of things that we do, those of us who are in the senior group, we don't really need to
Isn't
have
that
all
all of
those
us?
hot, what, Mary?
Isn't that all of us?
Well, we're starting to get some younger, maybe a couple in the workforce yet, but yeah, once you retire, it's like you don't need all that highfalutin stuff. What we need are the free to keep going and stay, with the program, and tell your grandchildren keep their fingers off your computer. So that, because hey, even whether it's grandchildren, nieces, nephews, whatever. I had one nephew one time, he looked at my computer, he says, you know, Aunt Rose, I'm smarter than you are on this. And I go, maybe you are, but it's my computer. You keep your fingers off. You know, it's working for me. So, yeah, they always have some better way of doing things, but, and then they leave and you say, what did they do? You know, what? Okay, it's not working like I had it. Where did my pictures go? Where did my program go? What happened to my apps? And so tell them, if you give them permission to use your computer, that's all fine and good. But tell them they can use it. They may not change anything or add anything. They can do whatever to their computer, but not yours. Hello, Floyd. Yep, you have to unmute for us to hear you. Anybody who wants to talk, either unmute
Right.
or hold the space
I
bar
got you
down.
now. I got you now, Rose.
There you go, Floyd.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Good. Well, for those who are just joining, we've been talking about the website and highlighting the event calendar, the different elements that are on there, so that you check that as members to stay in touch with us and find out what we're doing. Updates, feel free and check out the settings on your computer. Don't be afraid of them. But again, it's a machine. You're in charge. Or tell it you're in charge. So, and then there are some of us who are here to help you if it decides it's in charge and it messes you up.
Yeah.
So, again, before I hand it over, I just want to highlight that in this time of not being able to take computers in, to use the website and the class sign up link to ask for any specific help that you might need individually with, I can't speak for the others, but I can tell you for me, anybody who needs my help, to make sure you fill in your name and your phone number and your email and say that you need Rose's help and give me a little clue of what it is you need. It will come to me and I will give you a call and we'll set up a time to work with it over the phone, over the internet, to see if we can keep you from taking it in, having to take it in to get fixed. Sometimes and often I can help you clear up some things by using Zoom, by using Quick Assist on the computer, or walking you through some things. You can say, oh yeah, now it works. And you've avoided having to cart it in. Okay?
Okay, Rose.
All right, Floyd. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. And that can be for, I have said that you could put on, you know, George's name, Dick's name, my name. Neither of them have objected to that. So definitely for me, you can use it that way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Hello, Shannon. And for those who just arrived, if you want to unmute yourself right now, you can join into the crowd. Hello, Gloria. You can unmute as well if you'd like, if you want to say anything. Ah,
I've never been without words.
yes, okay. All right.
That's true.
Well, I would say, Dick, if you're available, if you want to, it's 5 minutes too. If
After.
you want, are you there?
Did you say that?
Is-
Yes, I am. Never
Okay.
left.
Would never left. Would you like to, would you be okay if I flip it over to you now?
You certainly can.
All right, it's all yours.
Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I guess I'll actually make an appearance. There I am.
There he is.
I was just hiding behind the curtain for a while. Well, anybody have any questions? Well, all right, that's it for the hour. We'll see you at 7.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Happens every time.
Yeah, it happens to me every time too.
Mhm.
I have a question, Dick.
Yes, Floyd.
I have my bank account in my email system, and I have it up on the bar. I went to click it the other day, and all it did was blink for me. I couldn't get into my bank account, so I went over and got into my bookmarks, and I have it in there also. And I hit it. I was able to get into it. What happened that I couldn't get it up? There
Let
on
me see if I got this right. You went up to the address bar and started to type the bank's address, and it fills it in for you when you hit the enter key. Is that right?
No, I don't have to type it in.
Okay. Yeah. Then you have it on the bookmark bar.
Right.
That's
I have it on the
exactly
book.
the same. That is the shortcut. All you are
Right.
seeing is the first. Evidently,
was-
something was wrong with that shortcut, and I would just right click on that bookmark, that book bar shortcut, and delete it, and go into your bookmarks and open it up, and then drag that back down to your bookmark bar.
Okay, I just wonder why that wouldn't open up my account. I've used it for years. And all of a
Can't
sudden
answer that without seeing it.
okay,
But it
Anyway.
obviously was a bad link. So how it got corrupted, I don't know.
all right. I'll take it from the bookmarks and move it up.
Yep.
Thank you, Dick.
You're welcome. I've got a couple of little things I found today that you might like to see. This one here, see it?
Is that a fan?
Yeah, and you plug it into the USB port. So for you gals who want to cool off, you can just plug it into the USB port and
Excuse me, why just the gals?
Hey, careful.
boy, I get in trouble all the time, don't I? I'll go back to none so you can see it better. There you go. See, you can just set that down, plug it into your USB port, and type away.
But not the nice bitch.
No, if it's too dark, you can plug in one of these little USB lights, and you turn it on, and now it's going to.
Dick, Dick, you got to put your video on.
Whoops, sorry. I look good on my screen.
You guys just.
There we
shoot
go.
all up.
So there's this light that you plug into the USB port as well. Could give you your additional light if you don't have a backlit keyboard.
I've had
Yeah.
several of those. I've used them on numerous computers that didn't have the backlight. But the fan that you talked about, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
bought this a couple of years ago. I was working at the Florida International Air Show, and it was super, super hot. And one of the ladies that came in to the tent had one of these. I immediately got on Amazon and bought one, and it saved me a lot. I use it all the time.
And here's another one. This is a light, but it's got a clip on the bottom of it. So it clips to the top of your screen. Just don't clip it in front of the camera, or nobody will see you. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, you can still see me. There we go. All right. So that clips on the top of the screen, and it's got a USB connection as well. So I thought those were kind of neat. Just a couple of more toys you can take a look at. They came in to the club with a bunch of donated computers. So I found them in the computer bag this morning and said, "Hey, that's cute. We'll have to show some of those little trinkets." By the way, if you're looking for USB drives, flash drives, I bought a bunch of them. They came in a little container like this. There's actually 10 of them in there. I've already used 4, 32 gigabytes each, and they were less than $20. I think it was around $20, $25 for all 10 of them. I know George bought a few too. I got mine all multicolored. George got all black ones. So at least we can tell him from mine.
Where did you send out to get those?
Got them on Amazon.com.
Thank you.
Had them in a day. They're USB 2s. But you know, for most of the stuff I do, I don't need a USB 3. USB 2's fine. So it takes me 10 minutes instead of 2. I'm just copying stuff out to save it.
Let's go.
George is going to talk about it later, but we've been down to the new place a couple of times now, and it's a nice empty room.
Did you
But it
miss
won't
us
be
all?
empty long. George will tell us more about it when we get to the meeting itself. But it's nice and brand new and clean and bright.
Whatever we want to make of it, right?
Yep. We're going to keep it nice and clean and brand new and bright.
Hopefully.
And efficient.
Where are you doing your repairs?
That's where we will be doing them. This will be our new office.
Did you divide it up into anything?
It's just one big clean room now. George will explain it all when we get to the meeting.
Now, is it free? Did I understand that the rent was free?
Oh, no.
The rent's
No.
not free.
The rent's never free.
Hi, Bob. Glad you could make it. You got my text, huh? Can't hear you.
Unmute, Bob.
Bob, you're still muted.
It's still muted, Bob. I got to learn to read lips. That could come in quite handy, actually.
Spacebar doesn't work.
Oh, it does now.
There you
doesn't it?
go.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
I went by the link that was on the notes from the bulletin. That didn't get me in.
Right, I did the same.
So you went to the website and then used that one?
I went to the link you sent me.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Any questions?
I have some antique paperwork and I want to make a booklet for my kids about their grandparents and their great-grandparents. And I know that you had a lesson on how to do with paper that's kind of colored wrong, you know, it's yellowed and weathered, and if it's folded or something and creases are there, that the program you showed us will correct it. What was that program?
I agree. I did show you that. Do I remember the name of it?
Okay,
But it was one of the programs that we talked about that you would use your cell phone and take a picture.
okay.
I found one the other day that I don't know whether this is the same one, but it's called V flat.
B flat?
No, V is in Victor.
Okay, V
Oh.
flat.
V
Okay.
flat, and it's called mobile book scanner. And I was going to talk about that on Saturday. So
Okay,
I will, I'll do some more investigating on it, and hopefully we'll have some more information about that for you.
okay.
Thing says, I'm not frozen, I just need coffee.
What do you do?
But
Yes,
essentially, if you take
Little
a
square says,
picture of it
"I'm
with
not
your
frozen,
computer,
I just need coffee."
I mean a picture of it with your cell phone, and then go into the editing features either on your cell phone or with one of the photo editing programs, you should be able to change the contrast, change the color a little, make it look a lot better. And let's just show that. Let me find something to take a picture of. What can I take a picture of?
Like a book that is unfolded and I don't want it to have that curve in it.
All right, let me grab a book. For instance, I got this book. Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
let me take a picture of a page and see what we can do with it.
Okay,
Okay. So I'll take my cell phone.
yep.
And I'll go to the camera.
Now, if you took a picture of both pages at the same time, could you separate them?
Now you're really causing problems here. You realize that? Let's work with one to begin with.
Okay.
All right, so I took a picture of it. Now let me get that up on Google Photos. All right, it's uploading to my Google Photos now. And I'm going to be talking about Google Photos tonight, a quick overview of the whole thing.
And then you're going to send them all to my class, yes?
Yep. It says it's still uploading. There it is. Okay, let me share my screen. And let's see, there's my screen. Everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the screen. All right. Now, the best I can do with this is Google Photos editing, is I can go in and let's crop it. And then we can go in and change the coloring by using one of the options that's available. Let's say that one looks pretty good. That might even look a little bit better. Now, can we make it so that it doesn't have the, the rollover? Not directly with the camera shot. So I'm going to say done. And there's what that looks like right now. Now, did we have another program that we could do that with? I believe we did talk about them, but it's been so long. I have to go in and take a look at some of the stuff that we did look at. This one might be one. It's called Photo Scan. Let's take a look at Photo Scan, see what it does. I'm not sure what that one's doing, so I'm not going to be much help with that. Oh, it did a nice job taking 2 pictures on me. I know there was one that I had that was in, I think it was on my Android phone a while back, which allowed me to take a picture and it would actually even out the rolled edges and so forth. But I don't remember what that's not on this particular phone, so I'm not sure what to tell you there.
Okay.
But you can definitely use some photo editing software to clean it up.
I've never used Google Photos.
Well, I was just using it as an easy way to be able to show you what it did. But you get to see, just take a picture of it and save it onto your computer, and then you can use the software that's on your computer to clean up that picture.
Check out my class, Gloria,
Oh,
On-
I'd love to.
on the event calendar.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, you use Apple Macintosh, don't you, sometimes?
I use Apple products. Hmm.
Questions?
Not a question, Dick, but as long as you were just in Google, just a caution for everybody to check the settings, go to the settings in your account on Google Photos, because as of June 1st, they are changing some of their guidelines, and primarily how many gigabytes you're going to be able to have before they start charging you. It's no longer going to be totally free.
Yeah, we've been talking about that the last couple of weeks by Thursday class, Rose. It's
Yeah. Okay.
June 1st will be the swing date, if you will. So
Right.
as many pictures as you can put up there between now and June 1st, they will remain free forever.
Yes.
From June 1st on, they will go against your 15 gigabytes of free space. But it's only about $1.60 a month to increase that to 100 gigabytes. And in 15 gigabytes, you can store between 7,000 and 10,000 photos. So
Right.
I think we're probably pretty safe for most people.
Yes.
Now, Harold's not here yet, but Harold, I think, has a lot more than that.
I have 23,000 on mine.
Yeah, I get quite a few on mine too.
So,
I've got like over 6,000 right on Facebook.
Well, I don't do anything on Facebook, but I have about 11 or 12,000 on my phone. But 22,000, that's a lot.
Hey, you know, it's a good thing, Rose, that we don't still have to pay for film and
right.
get 8 to 12 pictures on a film for $10 or whatever it was.
Right.
Got that right.
Now we just hold the button down and it takes 30 shots all at once.
Dick,
Plus,
Yep.
I can cut somebody out if I don't want them in there.
That's right. Yes.
How do you download the photos onto Google Photos?
Well, if you download the Google Photos app onto your phone, and again, I'll be talking about this again at 8 o'clock, but if you download the app on your phone, then every time you take a picture with your cell phone, it will go up to Google Photos.
Mm-hmm.
And you can open up Google Photos go to photos.google.com and click a button that says upload pictures, and then you can tell it which pictures on your computer you'd like to upload.
Dick,
Yes,
did I understand that everything you have up there is going to be free? Only after June, whatever the date was, it will be taken away from your 15 gigabytes.
correct. Anything you post before June 1st will remain free forever.
Until they change the
And of
rules
course, if you
again.
have 3 Google accounts, then you've got 15 gigabytes in each account. But you'll have 3 separate Google Photos account also.
Here's another question. How do you have a Google account?
You go to google.com,
Okay.
and when you go to sign in, it'll ask for your account. And if you don't have one, you'll click on create one.
Okay.
You don't need a Gmail account. You can just use whatever email you have, create a password, and that'll be your Google account.
Sounds easy enough.
It is.
It is.
Right.
A lot of us used to think we had to have a Gmail account to have a Google account, but that's not true.
Wasn't that true at one time though?
I don't know. I just know it's not
Yeah,
now.
I thought it was
I think it was
initially.
in the
Okay.
beginning. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe in the beginning we were looking to get, there wasn't really a Google account. There was just Gmail, and then that expanded into using it for more and more things.
Right.
Rosemary, have you turned on the new computer yet?
I'm on the Acer right now.
Oh, looks really good.
Picture is better on the HP, but the speed is better on this one. And the internet didn't want to come in here all the way.
So what did you get, Rosemary?
It's a 17-inch Acer with 16 gigs of RAM, and it's an i7 processor.
Great.
Well, there's no stopping you now, Rosemary.
I don't think she was stopped before.
Right. Any questions?
I don't have any about the computers yet, but I'm having a lot of fun playing.
Dick, I got a question.
Yep.
On the Google Pictures, I had, before I put the Google Pictures icon up, I had another picture, yeah, where I stored my pictures. When the Google came along, I put them on the Google, and I figured that the Google would take over the original picture file, but it didn't take it over. It just added to it. So I've got two photo files now, and when it runs a backup, it backs up to each of them. I was just going to delete the original file. Would that disappear off the?
Okay, I'm not sure I fully understand what you're happy with doing, Jack. Do you have a Google Photos account? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
So you can go up to photos.google.com and see all your photos?
Yes.
Okay. And you have another account with photos in it? What account is that?
I forget the name of it. But that was the original photo storage.
It was on your computer or up in the cloud?
On my computer.
But what's in the cloud came from your computer.
Right. Now, if I delete the original one,
Well, what's the original one?
the one that's on my computer,
Yeah.
is that going to erase everything, or I don't want to lose any of the pictures?
Well, without actually seeing your computer, I don't want to give you an answer that says do this or do that, okay?
Yeah.
But generally speaking, whatever you put up to Google Photos will remain on Google Photos. If you delete it on your computer, it will not delete it up on Google Photos. But if you delete it on Google Photos, it will delete it on both places.
Okay.
It synchronizes, but it does not synchronize deletes that you do on your computer. The whole idea is for Google Photos to have to be a backup of your photos.
All right. So before I do fooling around like that, I guess the smart thing to do would be to back up the whole computer.
Yes, do a full backup of your computer first, and then experiment. Don't delete the whole folder. Just delete one file in the folder, and then go up to Google Photos and make sure the file is still there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
But you might want to wait a little bit because it might not have processed the delete. So
What was that?
make sure you wait just a little bit of time so that it doesn't delete it 5 minutes after you look for it.
Okay. So don't be in a rush to get finished.
Yeah, what Mary's saying is there may be a lag between the time you click delete on your computer,
Gotcha.
but it shouldn't make a difference because it's not going to delete it out in the cloud. But you just test it to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Speaking of clouds, it looks like Harold's in a cloud, and I just saw like a ghost go back, so I think he's left the cloud. So we'd really like to talk up this general meeting that we're having so that more people can attend on Zoom. I've got a feeling a lot of people just are, I won't say gun shy, they're kind of Zoom shy. But I do see some people on here tonight that we don't regularly see, and I am glad to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and spread the word.
Yep.
This is my first time on Zoom when I've had more people on than I could fit on my screen. Do they just keep getting smaller, or do I have to? I know you have to move over on a phone. I've been on it on a phone, and I know you have to move over to see everybody. But do you have to do that same thing on a computer?
On the computer, you'll be able to see. Yes, they will get smaller, but there's a maximum of 25 on your computer screen. When you go over 25, you'll see there'll be an arrow on the right side about halfway down that'll you click on and it'll bring you to the next group. And then there'll be an arrow on the left side to bring you back. So we can have up to 100 people. You just can't see all 100 at once.
Okay, so 25 per screen is the maximum.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Rows of 5.
Through Zoom. But I had notes from last March, and there was talk of on WordPad. Is that still a good replacement for Word?
WordPad is a nice program. It'll allow you to do pretty much everything that most of us need a word processor for. Let me bring it up and let's take a look.
Okay.
So here's WordPad. It should look pretty familiar if you, no matter what word processor you're using, and WordPad is free. I'm going to pull this little arrow down and you'll see we have ribbons. There's the file the home ribbon. There's the view ribbon. And over here is the file pull down. So we can do save, save as, open, and so forth. We can type. We can change the the typeface. Let me just type something. And I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can change it this way. I can make a different type font. I can include pictures. We can do pretty much everything you'd like to do. It's only missing one important thing. Can anybody tell me what that is?
The spelling check.
Yep, that's it, Floyd. It does not have a spell check.
Oh.
Now, I haven't tried. Are any of you using Grammarly?
I am.
Really neat, isn't it?
Love
Now,
it.
what I don't know is if Grammarly will work with WordPad. I haven't tried it. And I'm not even sure how I do it.
What is Grammarly?
Grammarly is a program that does an excellent job of not only correcting your spelling, but does a wonderful job correcting your grammar. And I don't need grammar, meaning grammar and grandpa. I mean grammar.
When you insert a picture, how can you manipulate that on your document?
Well, let me go over here and I'm going to click on picture. And let me grab a picture. I'll just go to pictures. There's a funny looking guy. We'll bring him in. Now we can make him centered, right, left. I can click on that and I can make him bigger or I can make him smaller.
Okay, but you are still limited as to where you want to place it. It's either got to be left, center, or right, large or small.
Right.
Okay.
With WordPad.
Yeah. WordPerfect is different. You can manipulate it any way you want.
I can put it up on a sentence. Well, this is not a full word processor. This
Understood.
is a very minimal word processor that comes free with Windows 10.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter if you're using a full Office package like LibreOffice, OpenOffice, WordPerfect, Microsoft Office, or even Google Docs, you can do a lot more with your images than you can with WordPad. But you know, for what most people need, this is probably sufficient. And there is a very simple spell check program. It's called Tiny Spell. I don't know if I have it on this computer or not. Let me check. But I've talked about that in the past. And Tiny Spell.
Yeah, pick it up.
And it's a tiny smell, tiny spell, that's tiny spell. The tiny smell will allow you to check your spelling as you're typing, and it's available at no charge.
Hold on a minute.
Whoever's talking on the phone, please mute yourself.
Yeah, Lonzo. Yeah, Sal.
Dick, I have a question on WordPad.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, does WordPad have a way of creating boxes in the page? if that were the case, then you could put a picture in and a second box, maybe, I'm talking about a parallel box.
No.
First box, a picture, second box, a copy, and the third box.
What you see is what you get.
Okay.
And there's nothing up there. We can insert an object, but that's not going to give you what you're thinking about. I understand what you're saying, but no.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
We just got a new laptop. That's what we're on now. And I was thinking about buying Microsoft Office. Is there one site better than others that you should buy it through?
Well, is there a reason why you want to buy Microsoft Office specifically?
No.
Is that
No.
something you've used before?
Yes. I did a lot of work on it even back when I was working many, many years ago. Anyway, it's just a comfort zone, I guess, you know, but I don't have any problem with this WordPad, I don't think either. I don't use.
What you should probably try is LibreOffice.
Mhm.
Okay.
What is that?
It's a.
How do you spell it?
Libre Office, all one word. Bless you.
Thanks.
And it's free. It's a complete Office package. We recommend that at the club for people that don't have Microsoft Office. However, if you'd like to get Microsoft Office, we have found a website that sells it pretty inexpensively. We have no idea about the site, except that we've had a few people that have downloaded Microsoft Office, and that's called
Bonanza?
Called. Say again, George?
Bonanza?
Yeah, that's it. All I can think of, then I have to say, oh, Bonanza. Bonanza.com, and just type in Office 2020 or whatever, or Microsoft Office, and you can usually buy a copy there, maybe like the last edition for like $25 or $30.
Okay. Is that LibreOffice, is that pretty similar working and everything too?
Yes, let me bring it up for you so you can see what we're talking about. Now, I have Microsoft Office. I use Microsoft Office, but most of my work I do with Google Docs, which is free.
Oh, Google Docs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right now, I'm waiting for Microsoft Office to come up. I mean, LibreOffice to come up. Maybe I didn't double click.
Does Google Docs have a speller?
Yep.
It also takes Grammarly.
Yep. Here's
Scrambly?
Grammarly. That's the
Oh,
program.
that's that other one that you, okay.
So here's LibreOffice. Say I wanted to go into a writer program. I just click on writer. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is.
Okay.
It's got all the same kind of features as Microsoft Office. You know, I can type something, do whatever I would like with it. It should tell me that's not it. See, it's got the little red squiggly underneath, meaning that I didn't spell it right. Well, I didn't spell it at all. But yeah, you can do all the things with this that you can with Microsoft Office. It'll take a little getting used to, but other than that, it works the same. What I do with mine is I go in and make sure that I change. I'm not going to bother to save that. I make sure that I change. Let me go into Google Docs. I'll create a new Google Doc for you. Google Docs is free. It's all on the internet. It's saved. Your files are saved in your Google Drive, and your files in your Google Drive that you create with Google Docs or Google Spreadsheets or Google Presentation, they all don't count against your 15 gigabytes either, and they haven't made any change in that. So it's only the Google Photos that's going to change as of June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So I can type something in here, and it'll give me the same spell check errors and so forth. Okay. I can insert a picture here, and I can insert the picture from Google Drive, from Google Photos. So I can go right out to Google Photos and grab a picture. I can do it by camera and take a picture. So I could do it by camera. Well, we will not do it that way right now. But I can insert a picture by just going to here, and we'll upload from the computer. I'll go back down and let me get to pictures again. And there's that guy. Same thing. We can go right, left, center. Okay. I can also click here to answer a question that was asked earlier, and I can change the size and rotation. I can also go to all image options and come over here and change the text wrapping, and then I can make it wrap however I would like it to wrap and put it in other places on the screen.
So would you have to access these through Google Chrome all the time, or would you put a separate app for Google Docs on your laptop or your desktop?
Well, you can put a link on your desktop. You
Okay.
don't have to be in Google Chrome to run it. You have to
Okay.
go to photos.google.com. So you're going to their website, photos.google.com.
Photos.
In this case, I said photos, I'm sorry. Docs.google.com. And you can change the brightness, the transparency. So I made that one a little brighter. You can change the contrast. You can make it transparent so that things will bleed through it. But you can make all kinds of adjustments with the pictures. And I could, like Shannon was saying, I could insert a table of, let's say, and I could put the picture right inside that table. And then I could adjust that such that I could put it in other places on the screen. So you can pretty much do, let's just say I do at least 95%, if not more, of all of my word processing using Google Photos. I said it again, Google Docs. Matter of fact, I can come in here and I can go to Tools, Voice Typing, and now whatever I say is going to be typed for me on the screen. So I don't even have to type it. I can just sit back and talk about whatever I'd like to talk about and have it appear on my screen. And then I can go back in and edit or correct any errors that might occur. All built into the program, all free.
And if they use Libra or the online free Word Microsoft programs, if you use speech recognition, it does the same thing there as well.
As well as Microsoft Office full version.
Yes. Yes.
And speaking of that, what Rose just mentioned, let me go back over to this screen again, and let's just go to office.com. If I go to office.com, I'm going to sign into my Microsoft account. And this is free. This is no charge at all to you, because they always give you an opportunity to install Microsoft Office or to buy the full Office 365. But you don't need to do that. I can just come over here on the left side and say, I want to run Microsoft Word. And it is no charge at all. Now let's open up a blank document.
So it's free, but you have to go through Microsoft to get in.
Correct.
Just have to have a Microsoft ID.
Mhm.
You have to just set up a Microsoft account, which again is just go to Microsoft.com. And if you don't have a login, you click that you want to sign up for one, and it'll generate an account for you. And when you have a Microsoft account, you automatically have 5 gigabytes of free space on Microsoft's cloud called OneDrive. And that is where all of these documents will be saved. And you can also bring them down to your computer if you would like. But see, we've got home, insert, layout, references, preview, view. You don't have all of the icons. Let me show more of them. Here's the fuller ribbon. You don't have all of the selections or icons on the ribbons as you do with the full version. But once again, you've got more than what most of us use. You can't do a mail merge with the free version that's online. You would need the full version for that, or a downloaded program like LibreOffice, OpenOffice, WordPerfect, or a number of others. But you can do everything. And do one thing, I wonder if the random works. Yes, okay. I can create random text in Word that I can't do as easily in other programs, but there's some random text to work with. I could, I can go in and make them bigger. I can change the color. I can highlight it. All the kind of things you can do with Microsoft Office that you pay for. You can do online, and it's totally free. And you don't have to do a save. Notice if I go over here to File, there's no Save button. There's a Save As. So if I want to save it with a different name than the one that I started with, I can give it a new name. But as soon as you type, it's being saved.
Question.
Yep.
Now this is Word in that free Word. Are the other programs in Microsoft Office available, like Access and Outlook and some of the others?
Well, Outlook is an email program. You would need to buy the package to get the full version of Outlook, okay? The Outlook that is free is the one that comes with Windows 10.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Dick,
And
go back to where you signed in.
Yep.
Because this will answer Shannon's question.
Yep.
Well, Dick got the main thing. I love Outlook, and of course I have Office 3.
Shannon, any of those icons on the left column?
You do have Outlook, but I believe it's going to bring up.
Yeah, it has Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote. It has all of those that you can use through here. And they're all free.
You know, I'm one of these dummies. I buy Office 365 every year for one program, and that's Outlook. Other than that, I use WordPerfect Office Suite for everything else I do, everything. I'm an old-fashioned person.
Oh, you don't need Office 365 then. You just need to buy Outlook.
Well, I know. That makes a lot of sense. But when I was doing websites, I was using Word because it was a Microsoft, I forgot what it was called, Expression Web. They no longer have that, but it was very dynamic. My websites were multimedia. They had music, video. You'd touch on what's a still picture and it started moving. It became a video. But I don't do those anymore. So you're right. I don't need 365.
Now, the Outlook that's on here, I don't know what version it is. I believe it's just Outlook. Yeah, it's outlook.live.com. It's just going into their web-based Outlook.
I don't like that one. I've got that on Windows 10.
So if you go over to a place like Bonanza,
Spelled it wrong.
I sure did. Did I mean Outlook? Yes, I did. Why don't we make that say Microsoft Outlook?
Yeah.
Is Microsoft Office Small Business 2007? No. Microsoft Professional Outlook doesn't say what version. Might be better to look at Microsoft Office. Used to be a lot more out here. Anybody want Microsoft Office XP?
Or 98.
Yeah. Let's say Microsoft Office Professional.
What's that running for right now? 19.
Well, there's Microsoft Office Professional, 2019 for $69.94.
Good price.
It's better than the subscription price, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Once a long time ago, I bought the professional version from a website. Come to find out it was a pirated. When I needed some help from Microsoft, they said, oh, no, that's not a.
Ooh, there's one for $5.15.
$5.15.
We know that's a good one, right?
That's the instruction manual that tells you how to put a CD into your
No,
PC.
That's a download only with no disc.
Right.
That it's come down in price. That's the one I got. I paid $9 and something when I got it over a year ago.
Good.
Works okay.
Yeah, it's what I use to create the newsletter and everything I work on.
See, that's good, but that's got the full version. That's got access
That's
on
got
it.
access in it too.
Mm-hmm.
And Outlook.
Outlook, PowerPoint, Publisher, yes.
Of course, when you do sign up for Office 365, there's a caveat to that. You get, if you buy the full $99 version, you get 5 1 terabyte cloud access to OneDrive.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 5 subscriptions, which I've doled out to.
Yeah, five key codes.
Yeah.
Yep.
My sons have it. Bev has it. I have it. Actually, I've got it on 3 computers. Bev has one, and my youngest son has one. So, yeah, that's all right. Hell, we got money. What the hell?
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm going to be Harold this time. I'm looking at Rosemary, and I'm wondering why she doesn't have her paintings behind her. What did
Yeah, good question.
She's in a different room.
I gathered that.
I'm in the house and it's cold out in the studio. And that's where the green screen is.
You have a separate studio.
I do.
Must be a lot of glass. I bet it's all facing north. Well, no, because northern light is best if you're going to work in painting.
Northern light is best.
In all the years I worked as a designer, every building I worked in never had northern light. So when I built my first home, I said, I'm going to have a room with northern light. Guess what? It ended up being the bedroom. My room faced the east.
My studio faces west.
Oh, that's bad. You got all that red light.
Yeah.
Carol, getting back to the word processing and all the other programs, has anybody ever gone on oldversion.com? Those programs are free. They're older versions, but they're free.
Yeah, I've gone onto the site, but I've never done anything with them. I've
Okay,
thought
I'm just
about it, but I
curious.
haven't.
I'm just curious if I was the only one that used that site.
I've never heard of it before. So I'm over there now.
Oldversions.com, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. So there's oldversion.com. So yeah, you can get a lots of stuff. What have they got for, we were talking Microsoft. Do they have anything in Microsoft? Yep, there's Office, there's WordPerfect and Abby Word, we use that. You more.
What's the latest version of Microsoft Office?
2019.
2019, they didn't do a 2020?
No, 2019, and then they jump into 365.
Okay, so 365 would be the 2020, it probably
Yeah.
now the 2021 version, yeah.
And the other version of that 365 is that they update it frequently. If they do anything, you know, any little added features, they throw it in and you get it.
Yep.
So that's olderversion.com.
Ever heard of that?
Interesting.
What else do they have?
We got lots.
Stop collecting things.
Why do we want older versions?
They're free.
Yes.
And they still work.
Yes, they do.
With Windows.
I'm all in favor of free. Oh, and sometimes Microsoft and other companies will discontinue something and you really want the functionality and they've replaced it with something that's not nearly as good. You can come here and get back the copy that you didn't have.
Matter of fact, they got Picasa on here. Now, Picasa was bought out by Google years ago, and the result was Google Photos. So Google Photos replaces Picasa. Doesn't work exactly the same, but it does replace it.
You know, if you're familiar with a program and then they go and update it and change it, well, then you kind of feel as if you lost something.
Okay. I kind of feel that I gained something when they update it and change it.
We all get complacent with what we use.
This is true. See, change is inevitable, but nobody likes it.
Do you know when Internet would lose its, I don't know, existence?
Well, it should have about 2 years ago.
already
Right
has.
now, it's very
Yeah, it already
insecure. You
has.
should not
They
be
don't
using
support it.
It's not supported anymore now?
You should not be using it.
Okay.
You need to use Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome or
Firefox
Firefox.
Or Mozilla.
or Opera
Okay.
or Brave.
Or
Okay.
DuckDuckGo.
We get, we use AOL. We've used AOL forever for our mail. And it has an Explorer in there as part of it. Is that a different Explorer than the Internet Explorer? Do you know?
Yes, it's AOL's browser.
So it's not going to go away. It's still existing and
Nope.
everything?
That's correct.
Okay.
Internet Explorer hasn't gone away, but if you get a new version of Windows, it doesn't. You have to go look for it because it doesn't appear on any of your screens.
Okay, but the AOL Explorer is a separate entity.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
And some of the company websites won't work using Internet Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and some won't work using Edge, and some won't work using Chrome, and some won't work. Yeah, so it depends upon what websites you're going to.
When they start to decide, oh, we're going to redesign this thing, I go, where the buttons go?
See, the problem when you develop a website, it looks different on each of these browsers.
Mhm.
So the developer actually has to develop multiple websites to make them work correctly on each browser. So sometimes they'll only develop one, and it's for a particular browser. And if you look at it with another browser, it doesn't work or operate the way it should.
Ah.
What you have to do, because I went through this, you have to learn the damn code. Then you put in a null code at the beginning of it, and it will work with most browsers. But as Dick is saying, it won't work with all of them. It will look differently, particularly the fonts will look different. Well, not the fonts, but the spacing of the fonts will look differently. And the worst one is Firefox. It puts in its own little code that can totally screw up your website unless you mess around with the code. That's why I finally stopped. And by the way, Dick, what I don't know what to call it, web builder do you use to create your website?
My personal website, I'm still using Front Page.
Oh, okay, that's great. Except that now I love Front Page, but it works best the way I do it, multimedia, with the old Internet Explorer. It won't work with Chrome. You can do what you want with the videos and all, but they got the MP4s.
But all of the websites that are being developed today are being developed with programs like WordPress.
Have to learn code.
No, you don't have to learn any code at all.
It works like Front Page. You just drag and drop and manipulate.
Well, it's a lot more sophisticated than Front Page.
I'll try it. WordPress?
Yep. Go to wordpress.org. You can set up an account and build something for free.
Okay. Well, the something I have in mind has about 200 pages, and it's very complicated. And each page is animated. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Love to see it when you finish, or even in progress.
I have an old one, and what I want to do is rework it. It was a 2001 World Cruise, 88 stops. Each stop had multiple tours, and I did the whole thing. Lots of still photos. For instance, the Pentagon, I'm sorry, not the Pentagon, the Vatican had still photos, videos, and almost like a walking tour. But it was quick. You could look at a page in 10 minutes and go on to another page.
Why don't you share that with us on one of our
Because
Zoom sessions?
It only works with Internet Explorer. It won't work with Edge or
Well,
anything.
try converting it to WordPress and just one or two of the sections and share it with us.
Oh, okay.
Here's wordpress.org, Shannon, or anybody else, and you can go out there and play with WordPress. There's also WordPress. I'm not sure what the difference is. There's also wordpress.com. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, wordpress.com is the one you want to use. You can create you can get started and build something in WordPress on wordpress.com and just play with it.
Yeah, scroll back down like you just did. Keep going. Okay, stop. Oh yeah, that's got lots of possibilities. Okay. Oh. And I'm pointing to the screen as if you can see it. Isn't that stupid? Never mind.
No, it isn't.
We all do it.
You're not the first or the last.
Well, there was
Okay,
one,
guys, well, it's 7
Okay.
o'clock, so it's time for us to
Switch over.
switch into another piece of this program. George?
Oh, we just started to have fun.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing okay.
Oh, George is down here.
Why don't we start right now with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United
United
States
States of America, and for the republic,
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, why are you raising your hand?
We have a few announcements. As of February 1st, we have gotten a new building, but right now it's under construction and we are not going to be able to get into it for 2 or 3 weeks. On our website, there's the address. We're asking you not to go into it. If you want to drive by, you can take a look at it. There's a big sign in front that says Gray Street Annex, and that's the building we're in. And that's in Punta Gorda. And the address is on the website. And if you are going to be renewing your membership and everything, we ask you to go to the website and print up the application and send it to the post office box, which is also on the website.
George, may I put a little
Sure.
caveat in there? Once we receive it, currently once I get the information, the new badges are being emailed to you, and they will come to you from CCCGC office.
Anything else, Rose?
Not so far. I'm sure there'll be more.
Okay, and if you have any questions, you can always go to CCCG office at Gmail and ask a question. We'll get back to you. Our phone number is the same phone number that we had before, which is 941-585-0356. That is also on the website. If you're having problems with the machine, give us a call and we'll see what we can do to get it straightened. We don't really have an exact time. We're thinking it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks. Right now they're doing electrical work and everything else on it. And nobody is there. And if you get real curious, you're not going to see anything because it's all under construction. But just hold tight. And another good news is we're looking into a meeting hall. We're going to be doing some locations this week. We're not really sure yet what's going to be going on, but there's a possibility of either next month or the month after we'll have a meeting place. If that happens, we're going to continue to Zoom, and that way, if you're missing, if you're not able to make the meeting, you'll be able to see it on Zoom the next day, right off our website.
Or even that evening while it's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about that yet.
That's fun, but we still need a gathering at some time.
Oh, yes.
That's what he was just talking about,
Yeah.
Rafaela.
Uh,
Either March or April.
March or
we'll
April,
okay.
be
we'll
working
get
on it.
together.
This is
Any-
fun, but can't touch it.
Pardon me?
What
Any
did
other
you-
questions on that?
Yeah. Repeat, Rafaela.
Oh, I said, this is fun, but it's not the same as the.
It's not the same. Some people think it's better. Some people think it's worse. It's all a matter of opinion. But we're going to do both just to make sure everybody's happy.
Thank you, George. And by the way, the bites look great. You guys have been working hard.
Thank you.
That has been Rose that has been doing that.
Well, thank you.
And the information George was just saying about the new place, do check this month's bites. I have pictures, some pictures in there, and a picture of the address. So
Excellent.
And as soon as we're able to get in there, everyone will be getting an email. Do we have any new members just joining us? Or any guests?
I think there's one sitting on George Burns' bed there. That's a new guy. In the Uncle Sam outfit.
I think I know.
Oh, he comes to all the Zoom meetings. Charlie.
But did he pay his dues?
My my membership is expired at the end of last year, and I'm now so happy I found your website so that I can fill out the application and renew my membership.
good.
Good.
So now you're a guest for a little while.
Technically, I'm a guest right now. Right.
Well, when you do mail it in, mail it into the post office box, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I printed out you know, this current information on the website.
Great.
But is it still 35 bucks?
Yeah.
35 for a
Individual.
single, 45 for
Couple.
Yeah.
in the same household.
So CCC, GC, right?
Correct.
Okay, well, you heard the famous promise. The check will be in the mail tomorrow.
Right.
Where's Harold? Harold, did you hear that? Pass that on to Sandy.
Check's in the mail. It's only a cold sore.
Do I have to put a stamp on the envelope or?
Only if you want it delivered.
And the truck just left.
Okay. Right now, I would like to tell you about the volunteer of the month. Volunteer of the month is Bob Hardiman. He's been working with us. He's been doing a lot of the moving. All of our stuff is out of the cultural center, and most of it is in storage bins or half a dozen people's houses. But Bob has been very helpful and has done a lot of the moving, and we thank him. And we have a plaque for him and a gift that he can pick up in hopefully 2 or 3 weeks when we open up the new building.
Congratulations, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you
I
for
owe it
all
all
your
to-
help.
I owe it all to Harold.
Okay. Then we're going to switch to the favorite of the month. And the favorite of the month is a program called Private Notes. Private Notes is a program that you write a note and send it to someone, and right after you read it, it automatically disappears from the face of the earth. I have a short little tutorial on it.
How does it disappear?
Can we do that with the bills?
Yeah.
I
I
like
had
that
that
idea.
happen with
How
a
about those
Zoom
checks
meeting that I
disappearing?
Okay,
recorded
listen.
one time.
George, put the volume up.
After it's been read. You get to it.
I didn't hear any of that, George.
Put your volume all the way up.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Just go to our website and go into the how-to and do February's favorites. This gives you a little description of it and the link to click to. You go in here and you type in the note that you want. I've got one in there, so I'll just send that. And then create the note, and it converts it into a link that you can copy. And then go to your Gmail or wherever mail you have. And you just paste that right in. And I'm just going to send it to myself. And since it's not going too far, it came pretty soon. I click on it. I open the link. Then it asks if you want to read it now or read it later. I'm going to read it now. And this was on the link. So I go back to my website, try to read it again. And it says the note has been destroyed.
Is this like the old Mission Impossible?
Exactly like that. Questions? One thing I didn't mention on here is that you can adjust these to you can put restrictions on it. If you want to put a password on it, you can put a password so that anyone that reads it has to put in a password first. And you can adjust the timing that it's on there. I had it set for immediately deleting, or you can have it deleted in a day, week, or a month.
What's the point? I mean, you can send an email. What's the point of having it disappear?
If you
Well, if you're the speaker of the house.
Share emails with someone, that might be real nice program to have.
What it looks like to me is the program is putting an advertisement in it, and you're doing their job for them, you're sending a note that's going to disappear, but they see an advertisement. And to me, I would rather just send an email that doesn't have any advertisement in it. Now, correct me.
Well, I didn't have any advertising on it though.
Well, there was a thing about some phones above the message. One I saw.
That was the particular one that George was putting together.
I have seen posts on Facebook that'll say a notification of a post, and it'll say, click on it before it disappears. That must be the program.
Must be.
I don't usually, I'm very slow at it. So, too late.
Okay. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to bring it back to Dick for the main presentation.
Thanks, Judge.
Yes, Judge, that was very interesting.
Good, thank you.
Okay. Well, tonight I thought we'd take another look at Google Photos. A number of us are using Google Photos, and some know nothing about Google Photos, and some just know a little teensy bit. So I thought we'd cover some of the ins and outs of Google Photos, and Rose gets into some real details with Google Photos on her class on it. So you want to check our calendar and sign up for her class, and you can get almost a one-on-one situation with the 4 or 5 people that might show up that day. But hopefully all 25 of you will show up in class. But Google Photos is look at it this way. Google Photos is a way to keep a backup of all your photos. Now, a backup implies that you're making another copy. You're backing it up. You're putting it someplace else. So having it in Google Photos and then removing it from all your other devices isn't making a backup. Now all your photos are in one place. So you want to keep that into consideration. After you've uploaded all your photos from your computer into Google Photos, make sure you've done some kind of an image backup of your system so you get another copy someplace else. What if Google Photos went away? I don't expect it to happen, but it could. We don't want to have all of our eggs in one basket, shall we say? But let's take a look tonight at maybe how to install the app on a cell phone, how to access your photos on the Google Cloud, how to upload photos from your PC, how to edit pictures in the cloud, how to create albums and what an album is, and how to search for photos by things like location, date, content, how to add descriptions to your pictures, how to use facial recognition to find and group photos, and how to download photos right down to your computer. Now, as we talked about in the earlier sessions tonight, every Google account comes with 15 gigabytes of free storage for your work. Now, how much is 15 gigabytes? It's a lot. But that 15 gigabytes is shared with Google Drive, which is where all of the Google Office type programs store the information that's created. And that information doesn't count against your 15 gigabytes as long as you keep it in the Google format. If you want to copy up Microsoft Doc files or WordPerfect files or things that I created in Google Docs or Google Spreadsheets or Google Presentation, they will count against your 15 gigabytes. If you've got Gmail, your Gmail emails and attachments are being included in that 15 gigabytes of space. So you might not have it all available for Google Photos. But the nice thing about Google Photos right now is that as long as you upload them in what's called the high definition mode, Google Photos will compress the images without losing any of the pixels. It keeps, as long as you're, well, it keeps the pixels formatted at 16 megapixels or less. And 16 megapixel photo is a pretty sharp picture. If you're one of these that takes professional pictures with a much, much higher resolution and you want to keep them in their original form, those pictures will count against your 15 gigabytes. Now, I say that to say this. June 1st, Google's changing the rules. June 1st, all pictures, no matter whether they're high definition or original size, will count against your 15 gigabytes. But if you're using high definition and you have 2 or 3 megabyte pictures, you'll be able to store somewhere between 7 and 10,000 pictures in that 15 gigabytes. So for most people, it's not a problem. Rose says she's got 22,000. So for hers, it will be a problem after June 1st. But all the pictures you upload between now and June 1st will still remain free forever. It's only the pictures you upload after that. And it only costs a couple of dollars, less than a couple of dollars a month to purchase 100 gigabytes. Then that should be enough for pretty much forever.
Forever and to someone else when you pass on, goes in your will?
Are you asking me, Raphael?
What are you asking?
I'm asking Dick.
What are you asking?
You can't see because I'm who I'm looking at, can you?
Repeat the question, Raph.
I said they remain free forever. But what happens? Is that something you leave in your will?
Well, as long as they don't close out your account, it's still there, Raph.
Leave the
As long as they don't remove
user
your
ID
account, it's
in
still
your
gonna
will.
be there.
Yeah.
Leave the user ID in your will and they'll have access to it.
There you go.
So let's take a look at installing the applications. You know, Photos is an online application. It does not need installation on your computer. You simply access photos.google.com, and from there you can upload photos right from your computer. Let's take a quick look at that. Let me jump over to sharing my screen. Let me share the second screen. So, how do you get to Google Photos? Go to Google Chrome. Click on the little menu button and come down to Google Photos. And by the way, if you don't like the way this is arranged, you can move it up towards the top. You can drag it wherever you'd like. These are all the Google applications that are available. Click on Google Photos and you're into your Google Photos account. Here's the new office, by the way. That's what it looks like. Let me just go down and get some other pictures here. Here's some of the beach.
Oh, we're gonna meet on the beach?
Yeah.
Well, here's a pig that found its way into our yard last week.
You didn't cook it, did you?
No, but Sherry called animal control to get it out.
The wild one, huh?
Any rate, to get pictures onto your computer, from your computer, up into Google Photos, we go up to the top here where it says upload, and we say upload from Google, from the computer.
Oh.
And it'll ask us where we want to get them from, and we just point to the place that we want to get the pictures from. We can choose them all, we can choose one or two or whatever, and it will upload them into Google Photos for us. Now, there is an application you can put onto your computer that you can install from Google Photos that will just go out and automatically look for all your pictures and put them up there. But I would not suggest that you do that, and I'll get into why in a little while. All the photos you upload are organized by the date that you put them up. They're also accessible by the date that's stored in the metadata associated with the image. Every time you take a picture, the location that you were when you took the picture, the device that you took it on, and the date and time that you took it are all placed right inside of your image in what's called metadata. Now, installing photos on your computer, installing that application on your computer will make them automatically be uploaded, as I said before. And if you add Google Photos app, you go to your App Store or your Play Store on your cell phone, on your smartphone, and you download the Google Photos app, then every photo or video you take on the cell phone will automatically be uploaded to your Google Photos cloud. Now, there are a couple of options you have to take a look at when you download that app. One is you want to make sure you got it set for uploading them in high definition mode, not original. And we do that so that the pictures remain free until at least June 1st. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you are telling it you don't want it to upload your pictures if you're not in Wi-Fi mode. And I say that because a lot of you have a data limit on your phone. Now, you may be paying for a plan that says you have unlimited data. However, your unlimited data is 4G for maybe 1 or 2 gigabytes. And after that, it drops down to something much lower, like 3 or even 2G. So in order not to use up your free or paid for data cap, let them upload when you're in Wi-Fi. So when you get home, make sure you've got Wi-Fi turned on and your pictures will upload. Now, to access your pictures, again, all you have to do is go to photos.google.com on any device. On an iPad, on a PC, on a Linux machine, on a Chromebook, at your friend's house. Just go to photos.google.com, sign in with your username and password for Google, and you'll have access to all your pictures. Notice on mine, it says sharing over here. Up in the top left, got a number 1. I'm sharing my pictures with my wife. So the pictures she takes on and that go up to her Google Photos, she shares with me, and I share mine with her, so we can see each other's pictures. Now, albums are kind of important. Let's go over here to albums, and I can store things in what is called albums. Here's an album of, well, let's take a look at this one here. This is an album of pictures I took at James and Mary's wedding back in October. Okay, even their marriage license and and Sherry eating after the service, but I've got them in an album. Well, they're not actually in the album. An album is simply a file which contains links to the actual pictures. So if I delete this picture in the album, I delete it on Google Photos. So the album only has reference points to locate the picture. So when I open the album, Google Photos automatically goes out and finds all the pictures that I've associated with that album. Now, I spoke before about uploading all your pictures and suggested you not let Google do it for you. And the reason for that is most of you have your pictures organized into folders. If you tell Google just to upload all your pictures, it discards all those folder designations and just uploads them all as individual images. However, if you go in one folder at a time and upload all the pictures in that folder, when the upload's completed, it'll ask you if you want to put them in an album. And you can say yes, create a new album and give it the same name as the folder you had, which probably was a month and a year. And then they will be in that, you'll be able to access them as though you were accessing those original folders. Now, searching for pictures is pretty easy. There's a search box up at the top. We can search by date, place, a name if you've given your pictures names, and quickly see the results. For instance, I'd like to see some pictures that were taken in Rhode Island. Let's see if I've got any. Yep, there's pictures taken in Rhode Island.
See, I can do that. But
Let's see,
why don't
I'd like to see a picture of dogs. Whoops, not dog D, but dogs. There's a picture. Oh, I thought the pig was a dog, but there's pictures of dogs. Whoops, those aren't exactly dogs.
Hey, cute.
Okay, maybe I'd like to see a picture of boats.
I like the one with the mask on,
Yep.
the coffee thing, coffee filter. It's
And
cute.
there's a picture of boats. So I can search it. Now, maybe I'd like to search it by a date. Let's say 1978. Is there anything out there in 1978? Yeah, there's two pictures that were out there. Why it's 1978, I have no idea. This is 2015. There must be something in the metadata. I could look for pictures in Kentucky. I just, whoops, let's try KY again. And there's pictures taken in Kentucky. Now you can see the pictures I took of all my junk in Kentucky. And there's an old truck that we are having restored. We can also scroll down on the right-hand side and let's go to photos. And in the right-hand side, I can come down and notice my dates. Let me get down to August of 2010. And there's pictures August in 2010. So I can search in many, many ways. And one of the neat ways to search is to actually look for somebody, look for their picture. Here's all these people are located somewhere on these pictures. It does facial recognition. I've also added some names. So this is my granddaughter, Alex. Let me click on her picture. And here's all the pictures that have Alex, even ones when she was a very little girl, it still recognizes her by facial recognition. Now we can add a description to a picture. Let me click on Alex's picture here and notice I can look at the information about that picture. Here I can see that it was taken on my Apple iPhone on December the 5th, 2020. This is the name of the file, IMG. It's a 12.2 megapixel, 621.3 kilobytes, loaded from my iOS device, taken right here at that particular location in Monticello, Kentucky, which happens to be my son's house. I can add a description here. I can say, Alex. And I can also go in and I can click here and do some editing.
Why don't this?
I could turn that into a black and white if I'd like, or give it different coloring. I can even go down and let me get that back to the original. Yeah, I can change that's my dog. That's Lady. That's my son, Todd.
Video, second from bottom left.
Okay, whoever's talking now, it sounds like Don. Can you turn your audio off, please? And I can lighten it up. I can change the color. I can make the picture pop. And when I'm all done, I can click done. I'm going to just undo the edits, let it go back to its original size. I can also crop the picture if I would like. Let's say all I want to get is Todd and the dog. There we go. I can even change the orientation a little bit, and I can click done and save that picture. I'm just going to reset it back to the way it was. So we can do quite a bit of photo editing, if you will, right within Google Photos. Now, the editing that I do here does not change what's on my computer. It only changes what is up here. Now, let's say I would like to, let me go back to here. Done. And now these are all Alex pictures. These were Alex pictures in 2020. Let's say I'd like to put these pictures all in an album. So I could select each one individually, or I could come down and hit the first one and do my shift click method, hit the last one. Now they're all selected. Now I can come up here and say, let's add it to an album. Well, we'll do an album, and I want to create a new album. I'm going to say Alex in 2020. So now I've got an album called Alex. Now I can, those are all the individual pictures. And if I make a change to this picture, it also changes the picture over here. Because the picture is actually here, not in the album. The album, again, is just, let me get back to the beginning. Here's our albums. Here's Alex in 2020. This picture is actually in the original location, and the album just goes and finds that and displays it on the screen. So I can have an album, I could have 20 different albums that each contain this picture. But there's only one picture. It's just displayed through these various albums.
At some point, you would have had to identify Alex as Alex in one of the photos.
No.
So, no?
Facial recognition.
I know, but you would have to say this face is of Alex, right? Some
No.
point?
I can, but I don't have to. I'll go back and show you. Let me go to search. And let's find somebody down here that I don't have. Let's take this person right here. Don't have any name associated with him. Yet he's in all of these pictures. Purely by facial recognition. So all those TV shows that you see that are using facial recognition to find people, they absolutely are doing that. Now let's say I want this picture here and I would like to download it to my computer. Either I can do it right from this screen here. I'll select this picture and then I'll hold the shift key down and tap the letter D. And that downloads it onto my computer. Where is it going to save it? It is set right now to save it in downloads with this particular name. I can give it whatever I like. I'll just call it Jason. December 2020 as a JPEG file. Notice I can't change that. It's going to be saved as a JPEG file. I'm going to save it, and now it's in my downloads. And with that, I can bring it up on my computer now. And there it is on my computer. It's still up in the cloud, but I've downloaded it to my computer. If you select multiple pictures, like all these, and said Shift D, it will put them all into one zip file and download the zip file that you would then have to extract to get the individual pictures. So Google Photos is a great way to keep a backup of all your photos. And even when Google starts to charge for the space you use, it's a small price to pay for having a backup of every photo and the availability of looking at all those photos. And there's one more thing I didn't talk about. And let me just get back from here. Let's say,
Look way too happy, Dick.
I look in that picture.
Yeah.
I am that happy.
Yes, I know. I'm sure.
But I can go out and I'll do it at a different time, but I can go out and share any of these pictures. I can go in and take this picture here and I can actually share that. Meaning that I can share it with somebody else so they can come and take a look at it. There are other ways now you can back up your photos. You can use OneDrive. Microsoft gives you 5 gigabytes free. You can use Dropbox. You get 2 gigabytes free. You can use Amazon. You get Amazon Prime. You get unlimited photos in Amazon Prime. The only issue there is, like Raph was saying earlier, if anything happens to you and you don't have your Prime account anymore because you're not Prime anymore, those pictures are going to go away. So somebody has to make sure they maintain that Prime account. Where with Google, your Google account is forever, as long as somebody knows how to access it.
I have a question.
Google Photos is easy to use. It works great when you're using a smartphone to take the pictures. Yes.
I did what you said that you shouldn't do. A couple, 3 years ago, I downloaded or uploaded all my pictures when I was up north up to the cloud. You know what? Threw them up there. Would I be better off of taking them out of the cloud and starting from step 1 again and putting them in the folders like you suggested and doing it again?
No.
Well, no, my suggestion would be you probably had them organized in folders by date.
I did. I did.
So what I would do, I would go out and search for that date or that range of dates. And when they all show up on the screen, click all of them that you'd like to be included in that date, and then put those in a new folder by that date.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
That'll be a lot less work than deleting them all and reloading them all.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions about Google Photos? Again, Rose has a class on it. She'll get into much more details, much deeper levels than I just talked about. This was kind of to whet your appetite and get you thinking about it. And maybe you picked up a couple of things tonight that you didn't know, even if you were using Google Photos. So I hope you enjoyed it. I've got the presentation already. Harold's already uploaded it onto our website. It's right on top of the list right now, so you can take a look at all my notes that I used to do this presentation. Have a great night. Let's see who wins the raffle.
Thank you, Dick.
Back to you, George.
Okay. Okay. These are the raffle prizes today, and I'm going to switch you over. Rose, can you start raffling?
I sure can.
Okay.
As you see on the screen, we have 4 raffle prizes. The first one, I'll read them in case you can't get them big enough to see them. Raffle prize number 1 is the Husky Hex Key Set. Number 2 is a Walmart gift card for $10. Number 3 are light sticks with a $5 bill. And number 4 is a 16 gig flash drive. Now, for those who this might be your first time here, you don't, if you're the first one called, you don't have to take number 1. You get your first choice, okay? But you do have to be here if I call your name to win the prize. You will be able to pick it up at the new office in about 2 to 3 weeks. So watch your emails, watch the website for when the office is open. And then you'll be able to pick them up there. As you were coming in, I collected all the names and they're in my handy dandy little bowl here. So if everybody's ready, winner number 1 is, the one who needs to renew his membership, Jim Acer.
What did I win?
Well, you get to choose 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh,
Which one do you want, Jim?
2.
Okay.
2 is it's a $10.
So you have 2 weeks to renew your membership, Jim.
Okay, good.
Okay, winner number 2 is, it's a crystal bowl, it's a little heavy. Shannon Jones.
Win again.
Yeah, this is your lucky month.
Yeah, second time. Tell me what that number 1 is. I don't understand what a Husky key is.
The Husky is the brand name. It's a hex key set. George, you want to explain what that is?
It's three different wrenches. One of them is just like an Allen wrench.
Oh, okay. Now I know what it
The
is.
second one has all these funny star shape.
Yeah. Okay, now I know what it is. I wasn't
Okay.
putting the word out. Yeah,
What would you get 1, 3, or 4, Shannon?
yeah, I'll take number 1. That I can use that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Winner number 3 is Grover. Grover, where are you?
Grover's picture.
Did he leave?
Yes.
No, I'm not muted.
No, he's still
Oh, there
in.
he is.
Grover, number 3 and 4 are open.
I'll take number 4.
Okay. And winner number 4 is Bob Hardiman. Is Bob still here? He's probably muted. Is Bob still in here? I don't see. Bob, if you're here, unmute.
Looks like he's left.
He left?
He's gone home.
Oh, too bad. Then I get to choose another one.
He's in the parking lot.
He probably, okay, here we go. We'll try again. You know, you gotta be here to win. Okay, it's the one that says, I don't know the last name, but it's Mary's iPad 2. And Mary's iPad 2, if you unmute and tell us who you are. Hello?
Don't see them on the screen.
Yeah, they're on the, they're still on.
They're invisible.
At
Oh,
the,
I see. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
yeah.
And a $5 bill.
Okay, Mary's iPad, lower lower left-hand corner.
I'm here.
Okay, Mary.
Yes.
Is that Mary? What's your last name, Mary?
Benz. BENZ.
All right. Okay, and you get the light sticks and the $5 bill.
Okay.
All righty.
And again, this can all be picked up right after we open up in 2, 3, or 4 weeks
Okay, thanks.
In the office, right
in
on.
office.
Okay, George, back to you.
Okay.
You know, since I've won 2 months in a row, could you do something with the lottery tickets for me?
Good show.
You're gonna share the lottery with us?
Power.
Shannon, are you gonna share the lottery with us when you win?
Sure.
Absolutely. I'm too old to spend it all myself.
Maybe we should work something out for 10%.
You do better than that.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another good time.
Very good.
And we're going to stay on for a while. If anybody has any comments.
I just want to thank Dick again about the website. I'm definitely going to check that out. So thank you.
Just try
I meant the website on making websites.
WordPress.
second. That's this one.
Yeah, if anybody wants to leave, we are done. Do keep your fingers crossed for the meeting room for the next month or two.
That's the way it's going. I thought it was.
And keep an eye on your emails. As soon as we learn something positive, we're going to pass it right along to you.
Rose, I'd like to ask about the meeting room.
Yeah.
I know that you're still negotiating for that, but will it be close to the new office or will it be somewhere else?
We're hoping. Yeah, it's in the vicinity. I know Mary and George and Dick are having a meeting this Friday, I believe.
Yes.
We should know more after that.
We'll never know from Mary. She's out there in outer space in the Millennium Falcon.
I'm gonna come in just for this. Matter of fact, I took my spaceship into them the other day, so it knows its route.
All right, Mary.
Rosemary, I want to see those photos the next time we go on. I mean, your paintings the next time we go on Zoom. That's an order.
If the weather heats up.
And I want to see your new stuff.
Now, Rosemary, it's possible that that new computer you've got doesn't need a green screen.
Oh, really?
Oh, it probably doesn't.
The one I'm on right now does not need a green screen. You might just try it and see if it works.
Yeah, if it's a new computer, it probably doesn't.
Thank you for the tip.
I do have one question. I mentioned before that I was on our new laptop and I worked a couple hours today and cleared out my old laptop. And should I wait a while before I bring it in for re-giving?
Well, you kind of have to because they're not open yet.
Donations.
Yeah, you won't be able to bring it in for a couple of weeks anyway, but yes, I would hang on to it for a little while to make sure you've really got everything that you want.
Okay.
The other possibility is just make an image backup of the old computer and hang on to the image backup, and then you'll have everything that was on there.
Okay.
And if you don't know how to make an image backup, give me a call.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I might have to do that.
Old-time doctor, he makes house calls.
I have a little black bag too.
I know, I think I saw it.
You have the stethoscope too?
No.
Oh, Mary, I got to say something. You mentioned stethoscope. I got an email today, and it's a thing called a butterfly, and doctors use that now instead of a stethoscope. Man, they can look at your heart. They can look at, how the blood flows through your neck. They can look at your knees. It's a great thing. And it was a doctor showing this thing. And they can actually see that it's attached to your iPhone, well, to his iPhone. And instead of putting you under the radiation of X-ray, it's as close to that Star Trek tricorder as we're getting. Someday we're gonna. No, I'm being.
I'd like to investigate that.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I've still got the email, it was an MP4 file. I'll send it to you. A doctor friend of mine shared it with me. A guy I knew in school years ago. So it's terrific.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
Can we get a holographic doctor too?
You can. You can do a hologram.
I think we already got them the way our doctors work.
Yeah, and it isn't just the doctors.